So we want to make it comfortable for our knees, and then we are going to bring the bolster in between our legs. We're just going to fold forward. All right, so who else is there? Matthew! Matthew, how are you? Good morning. All right, so if you've just joined me, we're using blanket and the bolster, the cushion, and we start to fold forward. The knees are wider than the hips, and we bring our belly and our chest and then one side of the head of the face on top of it. We relax the shoulders, we relax the elbows towards the sides, the neck is long and comfortable. Close your eyes if you haven't done so. In yoga, we call this a child's pose. Just because children have open hips naturally, as we get older, as we become adults, the hips become tighter and closer. So in this yoga practice, we just want to allow gravity to pull us down and help us to fold forward, relax the spine, and at the same time get a gentle hip opener. So send the breath down the chest, the rib cage, the belly expand. But you'll notice that when we fold forward, it becomes more difficult to breathe into our chest. And this is where we learn how to do a 360 breath, where we relax the muscles between the ribs, which are called intercostal muscles. And that allows our chest cavity to expand in 360 degrees. So send your mind, send your mental control to that area so that you can relax and breathe towards the sides and the back of your body. Closing your eyes, breathing through your nose. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Your neck is relaxed. Now start sending the breath even lower, even deeper. Try to make your inhales and your exhales equally long. As you reach the top of the inhales, can you relax your internal organs? That includes your intestines, your digestive system, your perineal body, your pelvic floor. Can you relax all of those organs down there? And imagine your entire torso and your upper body. Imagine it's like a balloon that you can inflate in 360 direction. Can you relax your rib cage a little bit more? Can you relax your neck a little bit more? This is very soothing. These kind of supported forward folds allow us to also relax the mind, relax the nervous system. These are challenging times. These are very uncertain times for many of us. And just being able to release, relax, let go, even if it's just for a few minutes during this class, that already brings a lot of benefit, a lot of soothing, calming, healing benefit to our minds, to our hearts. On the next inhale, use your arms to bring yourself up just gently and turn the head the other way. Bringing the other cheek onto the bolster or the cushion, whatever prop you're using. If you don't have a cushion, or you can be using the pillows, but as I said, pillows are not as firm as cushions. So you might need a few pillows if you're using that. You might need to pile up a few pillows together. Breathing into our beautiful bellies. Breathing into the sides of the body, into the back. Mentally releasing tension. Allowing our hips, our my groin to relax with every breath. Can you make your inhales a little longer and equally long as your exhales? Often we start in the morning with an alarm clock, then we take a huge dose of caffeine. We feel this pressure to start performing, acting, producing. We only realize that we've already programmed our day to be nervous, to be jittery, to be kind of on the go, when it's so important to start the day slowly, meditatively, mindfully. Because this creates the pace for the day. This sets the intention for the day. So for me, taking a few minutes in the morning when I wake up to do these kind of stretches, mindful, meditatively, make a huge difference. All right, so we're going to continue with our legs like this. We're going to push the bolster in a way so that it's going to be more like a pillow for our head. And we're going to bring the right shoulder onto the floor or towards the floor. It doesn't have to touch. And then we bring the pillow in. So we're actually just resting the side of the head and we're getting a nice shoulder stretch. So look at the screen if you don't know what I'm talking about. And with the left arm, you can just keep it rested on the side. But here we want a shoulder stretch and a little bit of a twist as well, a spinal twist. So this is what we call a half bind, where we bring the arm around from the back and either just rest it on your back so that you're also getting a bit of a shoulder stretch on the left side, or even tuck in your left fingers inside your hip crease. Doesn't matter if you manage to bring your fingers all the way into the hip crease. Can you relax your neck? Here we're getting a nice shoulder stretch and a gentle spinal twist. Again, sending the breath into the belly, the sides, the back. Sending the breath into the pelvic floor, relaxing all the internal organs. Just allow gravity to pull us down. Breathing slowly and deeply, mindfully. Tuning inwards. Allowing every inhale and exhale to let you go a little bit deeper into the stretch. As you can see, the importance of the blanket underneath our knees, because we're sustaining this, so we need to make sure that our knees are comfortable, that our shins are comfortable. Few more breaths until we change sides. Then slowly start to come out of the half bind if you were doing that. And then use your left arm to push yourself up. We're gonna go for the other side. So here I am bringing my left arm under and towards the right, bringing my left shoulder closer to the floor through the midline, and then placing the left side of my head on the bolster, on the cushion. Feeling that left shoulder stretch, and then possibly leaving the right arm just to relax on the side, or bringing it around and placing it on my back, or even half binding and tucking in the tips of my fingers inside the hip crease. Wherever you are, make sure your neck is comfortable. Relaxing the back, relaxing the neck, sending the breath into your belly. Into the pelvic floor. With every breath, we can go a little bit deeper into the stretch. Equal inhales and exhales. Making our inhales a longer every time, so maybe you can start counting, or you just make a mental note to try to make your inhales and exhales equally long. Few more breaths here. Surrendering into the pose, into the stretch. Start to release the half bind if you're doing that, and then bring the right arm around and onto the floor and use the arm to push yourself up. All right, how are you guys doing? So we're gonna go into another hip opener, and also, but in a different way, all right, in a different direction. So bringing the bolster forward for the time being. And then we're going to bring the right leg forward and bring the shin on the floor. So look at the screen if you don't know what I'm talking about. And then the shin can be either in a diagonal position or it could be horizontal to the front of the mat. It doesn't matter, but what we want to do is make sure that our hips are square to the floor. All right, so we call this pigeon in yoga. Here, the objective is to get a nice hamstring stretch and IT band stretch on the right leg, as well as a really nice stretch on the hip flexor side on the left side. So look at the screen. My right leg, the shin is diagonally crossing. And we try to square the shoulders forward. We try to square the hips and bring the hips a little bit closer to the floor. So for a lot of us, this is extremely tight. And then this is where the blanket is very handy, as is the bolster, the cushion. So if you cannot bring your right hip on the floor, bring some padding, use the bolster, and you place that under your right hip to support you, to make this sustainable. All right, so once you've found that sustainable hip posture, hip situation, you're going to start bringing your hands forward and bringing your chest forward, trying to bring your elbows onto the floor. Here, we want to relax the neck, so you can relax the neck here. If you can go down a little bit more, then you're gonna cross your arms and bring your forehead onto the backs of your hands. Another variation is if your hip is able to come down to the floor, then you can use the bolster also as a headrest, as an armrest. And if you're really bendy, then maybe you don't need anything at all, and you can just bring your forehead onto the floor. Keep breathing. Again, sending the breath towards your back, sending the breath towards the hips. The right side, we're getting a glute stretch, very deep glute stretch. And we're trying to help our body sink into the stretch through the breath and the mindfulness. Can you send a mental note, a message to those body parts that are tight right now? And as you inhale deeply, you ignite the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest, relax, digest part of the nervous system. And the deeper your inhales are, the more that you expand your chest cavity, the more you trigger that parasympathetic nervous system that allows you to relax into the pose, into the stretch. Are you breathing? Are you sending a mental message to those body parts to help them relax? The breath and the mind are interrelated. When you have a restful kind of breath, deeper breath instead of shallow, that reflects and translates into your mind, into your mental state. So those people that do breath work exercises, they manage their mental state so much better. A few more breaths here. Start to use your arms to push yourself up. We call this proud pigeon. Basically, we're trying to open up the chest, broaden the shoulders, open up the heart, lengthen the neck, and possibly look forward or slightly up. Bringing your hips down onto the floor a little bit more. And then slightly, we start to come out of it by lifting our hips, bringing our right knee onto the mat, onto that padding, and then we're going to do the same thing with the left leg. So we're bringing the left knee forward, bringing the shin diagonally or parallel to the front edge of the mat, and then slowly coming into the pose, trying to bring our hips on the floor. If you said, like before we said, like if you need some padding, some support, you can bring the bolster underneath your left hip. That's gonna help you make this a little more sustainable. And that's a good idea because this is yin, so it's supposed to be kind of easier kind of stretching. So if you need that, that's great. If you don't need that, then you just bring the bolster, the cushion forward if you need it for your forehead. The idea is to have our hips square to the ground, however high or low, but square to the ground. Shoulders are square to the front, chest is square to the front. Breathe deeply. Exhale, start to bend your elbows as you fold forward, bringing your elbows onto the floor. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is your pigeon for the day. And then slowly relax the neck. Maybe placing the neck on the bolster, the forehead on the bolster. Maybe the bolster with your arm, so you find that arm and head configuration that allows you to stay in this pigeon for a few breaths. Tuning inwards. Close your eyes if you haven't done so yet. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Relax your belly, relax your thighs, your groin. Deep inhales and complete exhales, breathing into the sides, into the back. Noticing how your ribs expand with every inhale. If you allow them to do that, they will expand. You will increase your chest capacity. Your lung capacity becomes larger when you relax the muscles between your ribs. Sending the breath down into the abdomen, into the pelvic floor, the perineal body. And there is something very kind of magical when we release and surrender into these poses that are challenging, that are deep. But once we manage to find that balance between effort and ease, it's like the yin and the yang. When we're able to see that balance, and we're to be able to work with it, it's kind of an empowerment to know that we can work on ourselves even in challenging times, challenging situations. And we could cut through these challenges mindfully. Easier to go through things that are difficult when we're able to bring balance between the effort and the ease. And this applies not only to things on the mat, life on the mat, but life outside the mat as well. Relaxing, keeping your mind calm, staying here and now in the present. Very much a meditative, mindful state. And if your brain starts thinking, planning, visualizing, just come back to the breath. Come back to the sensations of your body. That's going to keep your mind entertained so that it doesn't fly away with more ideas, with more projections. Tune into the sensations of your body. That's enough to keep your mind entertained. Oh, I could stay here all day, but we need to get on. All right, bring your hands onto the floor and start lifting up. Let's do the proud pigeon. Oh, time is flying. Okay. Lift up the chest, feel the stretch in your front gate of your body. Maybe bring a smile to your face. All right. And this time around, we're gonna bring our weight onto the left hip and swing the right leg around to the front. All right, so we are going to finish off the class with a forward fold. We're gonna bring both feet together at the front, kind of a diamond shape, all right? And then we're gonna use the bolster or the cushion, and we're going to place our forehead on top of it. So look at the screen if you don't know what I'm talking about. All right, so you're sitting very comfortably on your blanket. Bring your forehead on the bolster. We all have different heights, all right? So try to work with whatever you have. Some of us, this height is just enough to relax the neck, relax the arm. So this is a very kind of restorative forward fold. Or if you can go a little deeper, then change the direction of your cushion or your bolster and then bring the forehead onto that. So see what works for you, see what is available to you today. If you're super bendy, maybe you're gonna bring it flat, and then come all the way down. So wherever you are, find that height that supports your forehead, and you can stay here for a minute or so, all right? It doesn't have to be the deepest of forward folds, wherever you are. Make sure that your neck is relaxed, make sure that your shoulders are relaxed, and bring your palms facing up. Bathing into your belly, the sides and the back. Can you notice now it's the vertebrae and the discs between the vertebrae that are relaxing? Can you relax the muscles along your spine to allow the vertebrae and the discs to expand and fold forward, to relax? Again, this is a hip opener. This is also a back stretch, neck stretch. And let me just tell you that
In these days of confinement, of pandemic, where we're spending a lot of time at home, many of us have bad back posture.
The chairs you use are not the best chairs possibly to work on. So many of us have back problems because also we're not in an office setting for those of us that normally work in an office setting, so we get into postures that are possibly not the best. So a lot of us are having back pain. A lot of us are having back pain, and a lot of us are retaining that pain in the hips and the lower back. So these kind of more yin-like forward fold are great to relax the spine, to rejuvenate the spine, to bring spinal fluid back into the discs, and also to open up the hips. Great to also release tension, the stress and the anxiety that we're all living through collectively. In yoga, we believe that a lot of the tension, frustration, fear is gathered in the hips. As we grow older, our hips get tighter, so these kind of forward folds with our legs open are extremely good.
All right, breathing deeply. Can you relax and sink in a little bit more? Maybe bringing your bolster into a different shape or height, allowing you to go down a little bit more, folding forward a little bit more. Tuning inwards meditatively, coming back to the sensations, coming back to the breath, to the here and the now. When the mind starts to do its thing, the monkey mind starts to play around, just come back to the present moment, using the breath as the anchor, as the focus of our attention, to keep us here, present.
And slowly use your arms to push yourself back up in an upright seated position. Let go of the bolster and come into an upright cross-legged position. Place your hands on the knees, relax your shoulders, lengthen the spine. We're going to lower the chin to the chest. To release the neck muscles, bring your hands together at heart center. Shoulders away from the ears. We do this to seal our practice. In gratitude to our bodies. In gratitude to that force, that energy that motivated you to come to this class today. Being thankful for being in a path of self-care, self-love, self-development, self-healing. So needed these days. These are very uncertain times, and everything we do to help ourselves live through these moments a little bit better is part of our path, part of our self-care. Lift your head up, start opening your eyes, and start taking in the room. Release the hands. And we come to the end of the class. Thank you all. A bunch of people are watching, but only 3 have signed in. That is fine. So Ted and Paul and Matthew, Thank you guys. Thank you all for wanting to share the class with me, for signing in, for saying hello. To the other people who are also watching that didn't sign in, thank you for watching me as well. And for all of you who are watching this as a class replay, namaste to you too. I hope you are well watching this in the future. And just want to let you know that please like, comment, subscribe to my website, daviditohealing.com. And donations are highly, highly welcome, especially for those of you who are watching this later. So you can go into my website and donate. There's also the information scrolling on the screen just up here, and there is my Venmo and my PayPal details. So your donations allow me to keep doing these classes and keeping them open. Namaste, Matthew. So good to have you here. Beautiful, beautiful. I can feel your energy, believe it or not. So good that you are back. It's great to see you back. Thank you all. Paul, I hope you're well, Paul, and Ted as well. So have a beautiful weekend. Please stay safe, enjoy. And I shall see you all Monday this time. Monday is restorative, so it's this class, but even a little bit more chill, a little bit less deep stretches, but equally yummy, if not even more. So I hope you come and register to my Monday class, to every class. All right. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Please take care. Goodbye.